possession of cannabis, and was locked up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 15 men to one cell, 9 wooden beds, 3 soups a day, and all I had was 1 Tupperware bowl and 1 plastic spoon. Possession of cannabis, and was locked up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 15 men to one cell, 9 wooden beds.
Okay,
3
so
soups a day.
walk us back.
1 Tupperware bowl and 1 plastic spoon.
So
cannabis.
Hold on 1 second, because we're streaming live on YouTube and it's
locked up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So walk us back a minute. So tell us exactly how you got arrested. How did that whole thing come about?
I was chilling in my apartment, getting ready to head out to an event to meet with friends and colleagues. So before I left, I was like, I'm a pregame. So I was drinking some Chinese liquor. I was smoking some cannabis on my little silver pipe, and get dressed, throwing on my shoes. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I got all my final things before I walk out the door. And they knock at the door. Yes, I'm familiar. So kids see who it is. I look through the peephole and I was silver pipe. And get dressed, throwing on my shoes. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I got all my final things before I walk out the door. And they knock at the door. Yes, I'm familiar. So kids see who it is. I look through the peephole and I was silver pipe.
So, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just hear the echo.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to turn it off. I don't know why the YouTube is doing that. I had to turn it off. So, okay, so you were getting dressed. I understood you to say that. And you were, where were you in your room? Where were you?
In my apartment.
Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, so hear a knock at the door, look through the peepholes, 3 officers. So put everything up, open the door, they come in, question me about drugs. Of course, I'm lying, like I don't know what they're talking about. Time passes, another officer enters the apartment. He hands, pretty much they drug test me right there on the spot. So do the drug test, fail the drug test, of course. So now they're really looking for the cannabis and just question me about where I got it from, when was the last time I smoked, and you know what I'm saying, trying to see if they can get any information out of me. So I'm just sitting there just shooting shit with them, going back and forth. I'm still high, and the moment is very serious. The moment is big right now, so I'm just really, you know what I'm saying, just first thing that come to my mind, I'm just shouting out. So once the officer realized I wasn't gonna give him any information that he could work with, he just made it clear that, you know what I'm saying, the drug test tested positive for marijuana. They know, you know what I'm saying, I have more on me. So pretty much I was just caught red-handed. So, I mean, it was like at that point, like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Accountability, for sure. Right. So, take me to one precinct, there for a little bit, then we go to another precinct. At that other precinct, that's when officially interrogated, and that's dramatic within the book. And then, of course, mugshot, handprint, all that. And then I'm just thrown back into the holding cell for hours, and they finally come back and get me and take me to this evidence room and weigh the cannabis up in front of me. And it totals out to be 1.4 grams.
Okay, so you have to break that down for people like me. You don't know what that means. So is that a lot for personal use?
So for those that do partake in cannabis, you know 1.4 grams. That ain't nothing. For those that partake in cannabis, we're talking units of measurement, 1.4 grams of anything. You know what I'm saying? So I only had probably like one joint for real.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But you know what I'm saying? It's symbolic because that was one of the very first signs I received from the universe. as far as how long I was going to be in this predicament. Because up until this point, I don't know what's going on as far as how this process is going to work or what's going to happen next. Nothing's being
Right.
explained to me. Of course, there's a language barrier on top of that.
I'm just going to ask that
Yeah,
question.
yeah, it's a language barrier on top of that. So communication is non-existent. I don't know what's going to happen. I know I'm gonna learn as I go for sure. I'm at it as I have no control over the situation at this point.
So is their process similar to ours and where they will grant you an attorney
No,
for your defense? Oh,
no, absolutely not. No.
wow.
Yeah, I was there after the second precinct. Took me straight to the actual jail, and I was thrown in a cell. 14 other men, Chinese men.
So, like, how long did it take for you to go to court? What happened when you actually got to court?
Well, no court.
You,
I'm just
what do you
locked
mean
up. I'm just locked up. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
But you said you spent how long there? 14 days, right?
Yep.
So for 14 days, they were just holding you without an official charge?
I don't know what my actual charge was. I'm just in the cell.
Wow. So go ahead and walk us through I understand you're in there 24/7. You're only out for a little time. What is the food like? How are you being treated? Because you are not only an American, but you are a black male and you with this cannabis. So like, how's this whole thing going? How's your mental space at this point?
I'm just in the moment, honestly, just because I don't know what's gonna happen. I know I'm gonna be good when it's all said and done. I know I'm gonna be good. I knew that deep down. I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen though. Yeah, but I'm gonna learn as I go. I just told myself to take note of every minor detail because it's gonna be a great story to tell. Once you're out of this predicament, most importantly, enjoy this high one last time because we don't know what the hell's gonna happen to us, boy. Hold on.
Wow.
So yeah, and you know what I'm saying. So once I was actually thrown in the cell, that's when reality fully kicked in. Like, damn, bro, like I'm in here now. Nobody knows I'm here, and I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah, nobody knows I'm here.
So they didn't even give you with an opportunity to call someone and be like, "Hey, this happened. I'm here." Because if you on a teaching assignment, so what happened? They had to know you were not where you were supposed to be.
Nothing was explained to me. I don't know what's going on. I'm just thrown in this cell, and this is my reality now. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm also, you know what I'm saying? I'm also thinking positive and thinking ahead. Like, ain't no point in crying over spilled milk. It is what it is. I'm in here. What the hell needs to happen to, you know what I'm saying, speed up my process of getting up out of here? I'm like, well, first and foremost, people got to realize or learn that I'm in here, at least missing.
Right.
So where I'm like, well, what needs to happen? Well, I didn't show up to that event. I was supposed to meet friends and colleagues at. So I'm sure they called me and I didn't answer. Is that a red flag? Nah, but it's weird. Now, when I don't show up for work Saturday and Sunday for my 8 o'clock classes, yeah, that's going to be you know what I'm saying? Because one of the friends I was going to meet, well, friend and colleagues I was going to meet at the event, me and her work at the same school. So I'm like, yeah, when I don't show up for it, yeah, they're going to know something's up. And in addition to that, I had a girlfriend at the time, but she still lived in America, but we still communicated frequently. So I'm like, when I don't respond to like 2 of her messages, that's going to be another red flag right there. So I'm like, I'm going to have to sit through the weekend at least before I become missing on people's radar. And then the search for me will begin then. So until then, I'm just going to have to, we're going to just thug it through the week, just taking this step by step, day by day. We're going to have to go through the weekend. And once we get to the weekend, I'm sure I'll be on I'll be the manhunt of, you know what I'm saying, everybody that's on the outside. So just gotta sit down and reflect, and that's all I did. You know what I'm saying? I can't really communicate with the other men because, you know what I'm saying, the language barrier. So first 3 days was just me in my head and just reflecting. Yeah, just a lot of reflecting, for real. and then curious as well as how the jail works. Like, do we get out of this cell? Like, man, we've been in this bitch all day. Like, they come in, they bringing the meals to the cell. Like, it's served out of buckets, and you know what I'm saying. We got to line up, and somebody in the cell got to serve everybody. And every meal is some form of soup, essentially, and bread. So it's like, we just in here.
So what happened after that weekend? And people started realizing you're not calling, you're not texting, you're not where you're supposed to be. He didn't show up for work. What happened?
Well,
that you know.
I mean, I don't know what's going on the outside. So after on the fourth day, which is chapter 4, I moved to a new cell, and now I'm amongst some English speakers, 2 of them. Okay. So now I have somebody I can communicate with. So I can start connecting dots as far as learning how the jail operates and how our process is going to work. But still, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. But ironically, everybody else knows how long they're going to be here. There's how many days they've been supposed to be serving, what they charged with. I'm the only one that don't know nothing. Ironically, I'm the only one that don't know nothing. So, but you know what I'm saying? So that's when it gets a little bit better, just because I have somebody I can talk to. I can also communicate with the Chinese inmates as well, because, you know what I'm saying, 2 English speakers, they both fluent in, you know what I'm saying, both languages. So you get to learn a lot about, you know what I'm saying, everybody's background and what they're arrested for, and just, you know what I'm saying, the culture of China, and, you know what I'm saying, of definitely other people as well. And then definitely see how the jail operates, you know what I'm saying, the incarceration process operates out there, at least in some form or facet, based on the region I was in. But yeah, I was just locked up, man. Sitting down. Right. You don't leave the cell.
Wow. So now, obviously, you've written this book. So what made you decide, when did you decide you need to tell this story?
Once I was back, I was just telling it to close friends and family, just seeing their body language as I'm telling the story verbally. I'm like, oh yeah, this story is crazy. Like, I'm so much complete silence. They just completely honed in on just what I'm saying. So yeah, I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with the story. I don't know what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna do, but I know I'm gonna do something with it. And it wasn't until it was months had passed. It's like July, and one of my friends that I grew up with, he was a published author before we graduated high school in 2014. He was like, "Hey, bro, you should write a book about it." Like, that's a great ass idea. Like, yeah, that's a great ass idea. Where do I start? I have no clue, but that's a good idea. So he took it a step further. He took my phone with my notes, gave me a brief little outline, and I just started filling it in. And once I started filling it in, I got a flow of how I wanted to tell the story. And then I just moved it to a Google Doc and just did it. And it took me about 4 months to write it. And then 6 months to get it, you know what I'm saying, published ready.
So from your experience, and obviously we know that the laws between United States and other countries are very different. But with your experience, what was the one thing other than having the cannabis, that you know for sure that you would not do or should not do if you're traveling overseas? You know what I mean? Like, should you know some of their laws ahead of time? You know what I mean?
You should always, I say, definitely do your research before you go anywhere, to definitely learn about the culture, and then of course the rules and all of that. How, you know what I'm saying, just how their societal norms, what are their societal norms and stuff, all of that. So, because you can be over there, you might throw a peace sign up to somebody, and that might be offensive in that land. Little do you know, just, you know what I'm saying. So little stuff like that, you just definitely want to make sure you're mindful of and just knowledgeable of. But aside that, I say definitely if you know somebody from, you know what I'm saying, if you know somebody personally and you got like a
Mhm.
great relationship, that'll make the experience even better. Because now you with somebody from the land, they gonna know how
Okay.
to move, and you got a tour guide on top of that. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying. So I say you definitely know somebody for sure. If not, hey man, make sure you do your research for sure. Do your research.
Now, based on what happened with you, what was your opinion on the Brittany Griner situation?
It's unfortunate. Unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? I would just love to hear her side of the story. I feel like I don't feel like we've gotten a chance to hear her side of the story,
Right.
how it happened from her lens from the start to the end.
Hmm.
I really want to help her write a story, write her book for sure. Tell her
I
story,
get.
keep inside of it
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Because we know it just from what the media and their side and how they playing it out and portraying it. So let's hear it from her mouth.
So, since you've been home, have you had any flashbacks, if you will, from you being held and not, you know what I'm saying? Because it's different when you can uh, go and come and go as you please, and then when you're not able to, you know what I'm saying, move like you want.
Um, I reflect on it still to this day. Yeah. And it's just a reminder to like, hey, boy, shit could always be worse. You've experienced worse. So,
That's a good point.
hey, boy, yeah, you
Very good
got
point.
no reasons not to be grateful for sure. So, I
So, have you
was,
had speaking engagements since you've been home?
I wrote a
Yes.
poem. I wrote a poem. While I was still locked up. That's when I started coming up with it, and I finished it once I got out. Um, but I recite that publicly at different showcases and stuff. And I'm partnered with a nonprofit, and we work with at-risk teens in our county that got locked up for drugs or doing something, doing, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying, being hot. And we use 14 days in Beijing as a part of our lessons to pull out life skills from. You know what I'm saying? Just
Good.
have,
That's excellent.
yeah, for sure.
That is excellent. So, if someone wanted to get your book, how would they do that?
They're available on Amazon and available on my website, chancellor-k-jackson.com. You can just Google 14 days in Beijing. You'll find it.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would want the world to know, basically? Because we are still streaming live.
For sure. Got a couple of things. I also coach aspiring authors. So if there's anybody out there that has a concept or an idea for a story, don't know how to get it on paper, or have already written a story and don't know how to go about publishing, tap in with your boy. I can definitely coach you through the
Yeah.
process, work you through the process of that. Um, and to leave y'all with just a message. It's a quote by Nipsey Hussle, and it goes, long-winded, running through this life like it was mine. Never settling, but setting every goal high. 1,000 burpees on the path to my own self-destruction or success. But what's a mistake without the lesson? You see,
Love that.
your future in life is your own experience. And none of us know who we are until we fail. They say every person is defined by their reaction to any given situation. So, who would you want to define you? Someone else or yourself?
On yourself.
Whatever you choose to do, give your heart to it. Stay strong.
I love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. Thank you for that. So, just one more time before we go out, Mr. Chancellor Jackson, give us your website information one more time.
Oh, chancellor-k-jackson.com. I'm on every social media platform except TikTok. I ain't on there just yet, but you can find me on
You
every.
better get on the top.
I know I'm like, man, I just. I know it, man. But yeah, y'all just Google me, Chancellor K. Jackson. Everything you'll need to pop up.
All right. Thank you so much for joining TME podcast, and I thank you for your patience. And as this is, I am again Rhonda McAllister, and I will see you at the top, Mr. Jackson. You keep hope alive. Keep going.
Marathon continues.
All right. Thank you.